It has been officially a year since the last time I did a tour of my DIY guinea pig cage, my 9 foot by 4 foot 2-story guy back there. And that was also the day that I introduced my pair of guinea pigs to my trio. So my herd of 5 have been living here for officially a year. And I was super, super proud of it whenever I was building it, designing it. And it's still probably one of the greatest things I've ever built, but it's not perfect. So I'm basically going to show you everything that is wrong with it. So yeah, first things first, this is the cage still, and I haven't cleaned it this morning, so don't judge me too hard. I didn't clean it this morning because there's some things I want to show you that would be easier to show you if I didn't clean it. So I guess I'll start with the lids of the cage. And by lids, I mean this cover here. And these lids I originally designed to make this cage cat proof. I do have 2 cats, so I made the lids to cover 2 halves of the cage. So this one covers the right half. And then this guy, it's half open right now if you can see, but this lays flat to cover this left half of the cage. And they work great. They took a lot of effort to try and design on my part, but the reason I'm bringing them up is because they're kind of pointless. I leave them up all of the time because my cats have like literally less than 0 interest in this guinea pig cage. I mean, of course, I'm glad that I built the cage, to make it cat proof since I do have cats, but they literally have less than 0 interest in the guinea pig area at all. They spend no time in here. I don't even think they know guinea pigs live in this house. They have such low interest in them. The next thing I want to mention is on this right half of the cage. So this right half of the cage is the 2-story section. So this used to be a singular cage, which Poppy and Carrot lived in before we adopted our trio. So this was a enclosed cage, 2 levels, which we basically opened up into this big cage. So this cage had a base, obviously. So there's a piece of wood from this end here going all the way across, attaching to this post here. And there were slats along the middle for the base of the cage, which Coroplast sat on. And it created a little bit of a height difference. So this part was lower based on this piece of wood being here. So there was a little bit of a dip in elevation, which didn't make this bottom of the cage even. The guinea pigs didn't really mind. They actually kind of laid on that little hill as like a pillow most of the time, but it made it kind of awkward for house placement because you'd have to either have it off on this level or up in that level. So that has since been removed, as you can see. Excuse me, Java. Under here. Sorry, Poppy. This is all now one even surface. We removed all of the slats of wood that were in the base. So now it's one even surface, which makes it easier for cleaning and house placement and all that jazz. So we did change that. Since removing that base, we had a pretty difficult time removing the screws that attach the pieces of wood. So we tried everything from the Dremel to wire cutters, everything to try and remove the little stubs of screws that were sticking out, but we just couldn't do it. So our solution was along the back wall, which had screws sticking out. So basically there's like 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3 that are kind of blunted on the ends that we just weren't able to remove. So I ended up fitting Coroplast up here against the wall. You can kind of see where it starts on this left side, and then it fills the whole back wall. So now the screws are hidden by a wall of Coroplast. And it is also over here on this end. You can probably see the screws a little bit better what I'm talking about. You unhook this. I've got, there we go, screws right here that you can see that are kind of blunted right here. Those we could not figure out how to remove. So that's why this Coroplast is right here in front of it, just kind of blocking everything off. And I'll have to reattach that later. But that was also something else that we ran into that was a little bit of a problem. But that's the solution we came up with, and it's working fine so far. Having no problems with that. This ramp leads to the the second level. And as you can tell, there is no fleece or hay or anything. The second level is completely empty, and that is because nobody uses it. Nobody uses the second level. I have no idea why. This 2-level cage used to be Poppy and Carrot's cage, and they used both levels all of the time. But I don't know if they just... they know how to use the ramp. They've used it like for years, but for some reason they just don't use it anymore. And nobody wants to go on the second level. I don't know if it's because they have plenty of space down here, if maybe they're getting older and they don't really want to use ramps anymore. I have no idea, but nobody uses the second level. So the fact that it's 2-story is kind of pointless, I guess, because everybody stays on the first floor. And next is on the left side of the cage. Let me open it up. The next thing is right here. As you can tell, very, very dirty because I didn't clean it. But this left half of the cage is where the hay rack is and where the majority of the mess is. As you can see, right, Poppy? Yeah. So underneath the hay rack, there is a little ledge there that the back panel is connected to right here. So this little ledge of wood gets super messy. It's so messy. I wish we would have put the back panel in front of that little piece of wood. It would have, made it a little bit smaller, but it would cover this piece of wood if we put the back panel on it like that. But this thing, oh my gosh, it gets so dirty. I try and lay fleece over it so that it doesn't get as dirty, because their little poops, as you can see over there, will get up there, and whenever they step on the ledge to reach up for hay or whatever, they'll kind of smush it into the wood, and I have to scrub it clean every day. Well, not every day, but like weekly. So we kind of came up with a solution to cut another 1x2 piece of wood here at an angle so that it creates like a little bit of a slope. So if there's any hay or droppings that get on there, it'll be able to just slide right off. So we're probably going to put that in the next week or two whenever we get a little bit more time. But that's something that we will be ending up changing, because it's a little bit of a pain to have to scrub that out once a week. And if we could put a little piece of wood to avoid that, that'd be great. But I mean, other than that, those are really like the main issues that we've kind of run into while having this cage. I'm still loving the front doors flipping down. Oh, hi, Icon. You hiding under there? I'm still loving the front doors flipping down because it really makes cleaning this bad boy so much easier. It's so much easier to get in there and reach all the way to the back. And I don't know, it makes interacting with them a lot nicer. And I guess the final thing I want to talk about is going to be why I haven't filmed a tutorial of how I built this. It was one of the most commented and liked thing on the tour of my guinea pig cage. The reason I haven't done that is because whenever we were building this, we did film it and try to document as much as we could during the process, because I did want to share it, because I thought, I had big plans for this thing and I was hoping it'd work out and I'd like to share it. But the reason I haven't is because I put all that footage on an external hard drive, and that hard drive kind of died and all the footage was lost and it was not recoverable. So I no longer have that footage. That's why I haven't posted it. I do have a lot of pictures of us during the process building it, which I can kind of put together as like a slideshow sort of a presentation, but I started putting it together and it was just it was really boring. So I wasn't sure if anybody would even want it because it's not very interesting to watch. It's basically a slideshow of pictures and me explaining what we were doing. But if that is something that you're interested in seeing, I can definitely try and put that together in a way that makes sense of how we built this cage. If you're really interested in learning how we put this thing together, let me know if you are, and maybe I can work on that if enough people are actually interested in seeing it. But if it's too boring, then I won't even try. But anyway, thanks for watching. That is everything that is wrong with my cage that I found so far this year. And I'm still really loving this cage and liking it, and the girls are really enjoying it as well. And as a special bonus surprise, we are actually adopting another guinea pig. We just adopted her yesterday, actually, and I want to show you her. We have adopted a new female guinea pig to join our herd of 5. She's in here. We adopted her yesterday, so she's still getting used to everything. This is her little temporary setup that we've got going on. She's in a little bit of a quarantine because she had lice whenever the Austin Guinea Pig Rescue got her in. And they've given her a couple rounds of ivermectin to treat her lice, but I'm still keeping her in quarantine probably for the next couple of weeks just to make sure that the lice situation has cleared up, because I do not want to have my herd of 5 get it just in case. So we're trying to be just overly cautious. And if you can see her in there, we'll see if she can come out. Hi, do you want to say hi? Come here. We haven't named her yet. We're still debating on what to name her. We were thinking, I don't know, we were thinking Parsley, but whenever we met her, she's just so fluffy and cute. I almost just want to, I don't know, I want to name her like something reminiscent of how fluffy she is. I don't know, she just looks like a little walking cotton ball, and it's adorable. But come here, do you want to come out and say hi? Maybe I can coax her with some veggies. Oh, someone comes out for veggies. Oh, we do. Hi. Here we go. She is a teddy variety of guinea pig, as you can tell. She's so fluffy and so cute. Thanks for watching. That is everything wrong with my guinea pig cage, and you got to meet our newest addition that we just adopted, who is still unnamed. If you have any good name suggestions, please let me know, because I want to name her something super cute and perfect for her, but I'm not 100% sure set on what I want to name her. So any suggestions are definitely welcome.